Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Business Live. Coming up in this bulletin, Bank of Ghana increases dollar support for the markets as it takes fresh measures to deal with recent pressure on the Cedi. We will be discussing that. Also, in this bulletin, government commences payment of debt owed Tullow for gas supplied, a move expected to turn around dwindling fortunes of the company and aid power supply. What would this mean for the upstream sector? We shall be finding out. Plus, NIT intensifies calls for self-employed individuals and entrepreneurs to enroll onto its pension scheme to secure their future security.
The same benefits which will go for a formal sector employee is the same benefits that will be given to a self-employed. There's no discrimination.
We have details of this and more for you. Please stay. Thanks very much for your time. I am Pious, Kojo, Backah. And looking at our stories, the cost of issuing currencies by the Bank of Ghana slowed significantly for last year. More in this report.
According to the 2025 financials, the cost dropped from more than 1 billion Ghana cedis in 2024 to 471 million Ghana cedis in 2025. The report showed that the cost of printing new notes and coins minting went down from 989 million Ghana cedis in 2024 to 277 million Ghana cedis. Agency fees, on the other hand, went up to hit 10.6 million Ghana cedis, whilst other currency expenses increased from 14.6 million Ghana cedis in 2024 to hit 183 million Ghana cedis in 2025. Expenses on foreign currency importation rose from 14.4 million Ghana cedis to 16.5 million Ghana cedis in 2025. Meanwhile, the total amount of currency in circulation increased marginally from 71.6 billion Ghana cedis in 2024 to hit 83.8 billion Ghana cedis in 2025.
We also know the Bank of Ghana has increased the amount of dollars it sells to the market over the past 1 week by some significant margin. The move is part of efforts to deal with recent pressures on the Cedi. More in this report.
The Bank of Ghana, since the beginning of this year, has been selling a little over $100 million per auction to the commercial banks. However, checks by Joy Business showed that last week, the central bank sold some $460 million to the market through its spot auction. Some market players have told Joy Business that the move by the Bank of Ghana was aimed at dealing with the current surge in demand for dollars by businesses and also deal with previous auctions requests that was not met by the central bank. Demand for dollars has surged over the past 3 weeks, coming from the energy, manufacturing, commerce, and mining sectors. Data picked up from the commercial bank showed that the Bank of Ghana in April last month sold some $1.35 billion through its Forex intermediation program. From January to date, the Ghana cedi has depreciated by some 5 1.80% against the dollar.
Dr. Benjamin Amua is a senior finance lecturer at the University of Ghana Business School for a conversation. He joins us via Zoom. Thank you very much, sir, for agreeing to speak to us here on Business Live. Now, the city faced renewed pressure after months of relative stability. Was it seasonal demand from importers or largely fallen commodity inflows that forced BoG's hand, do you think?
It's a combination of what you said. Businesses will have to restock. The economy must run, so there will be demand for dollars. And then also, especially the dollars will be because of a slight increase in crude oil price on the international market. And then, as usual, BoG's decision not to also go beyond each of the 100 million per month. That 100 million per week, that runs up to 400 million per month. But then, like your news bulletin said, just about last week or so, this has increased to over 400 million. In addition to that, BoG has also committed to also meet unmet demand for dollars. So what it means is that if at the end of a particular period, there is still some residual demand for dollars, BoG this time around is committed to make sure that such gap is also met by BoG supplying the needed dollars. So in the interim, it's a combination of the demand from the business side and also BoG's initial decision just to stick within the $100 million per week range.
Dr. Amua, BoG, as you speak, hasn't disclosed the exact figure, but significant margin, they put it, suggests a step up from the usual weekly auction. So what's the threshold where the intervention moves from smoothing to defend the line in the sand? Is that the case as you have it?
BoG will always pick the numbers and the signals from the market. And because BoG is aiming at providing a predictable Cedi rate against the dollar, which they have been successful at doing so far for the past 1 year, from the signals and the numbers coming from the commercial banks, BoG will then release to the market what from its consideration is an optimal amount of dollar to meet the needs of the market. So if it is significant, then what it means is that BoG is picking up the signals and BoG is promising the market that yes, they are prepared to provide enough to meet the needs of the market. The only problem is that if it is a significant demand on dollars and BoG keep meeting it, considering the fact that BoG is also using gold to back up or to store up its reserves, when BoG liquidates the gold into dollars, then it means that if BoG significantly pumps the dollar onto the market through the intermediation, BoG will also need a lot of this gold to be sold so that the reserve can be kept in such a way that there will always be enough dollars to meet the dollar needs of the market. The question is, for how long will BoG be able to do this? That is what we need to watch. Don't forget that the financials of BoG is also pointing to some not so good in terms of the returns on the gold being used as a conduit to meet the reserve needs. We are not having access to the international market now. So all we have to do is always find a way of having access to dollars, right? And so if the dollar intermediation in the market is going to increase, then there will be pressure on the central bank at a point in time. And that is what I think BoG will have to look at carefully and make sure they can manage that expectation if we are to enjoy the relative stability in the value of the Cedi against the dollar going forward.
Ultimately, what's the cost to the economy if BoG had not intervened? And at what point does depreciation become more harmful than the reserve drawdown?
At what point will be the point where we will allow the Cedi to by itself find its natural rate against the dollar? This is against the fact that we've just had 1 year of relative stability. And 1 year of relative stability has not transformed the economy so much for us to say that fundamentally the economy has changed. And for that matter, we have moved from an import-dependent economy to an export-dependent economy. No, 1 year is such a short time for us to be able to achieve that. What we are experiencing, and if we are successful to do that, will be to consolidate the gains. If we can have 2, 3 years, or even 4 years of consolidating, that will be enough for businesses and for other aspects of our economy to be structurally transformed so we can have the needed robustness and strength that we need in our city. 1 year is too short for us to achieve that. What BoG will have to do, unfortunately, we still have to support the market. If BoG stops supporting the market, we are going to have problems. So if you're asking me to what extent, I would say that we still have to support the market because structural-wise, the economy has not changed. And BoG will still have to do what they did last year to give us that needed ground so that we can have the fundamental shift in the economy.
Now, BoG has kept the policy rate at 14% to anchor inflation, right? If dollar sales ease pressure, does that give the MPC room to cut rates at the next meeting, or is it too early?
It depends on how the movement of money is in the economy. Anytime the policy rate is revised or increased, then it's about the movement of money and an attempt by the central bank to control the supply of money, which is indirect liquidity in the system. So it depends on the numbers from the aggregate viewpoint of the central bank. We don't have the numbers. I believe the central bank will have the numbers and the amount of money in circulation at each point in time. Looking at the books of the commercial banks, the request for loans and the movement of goods in and out of the country will then give the central bank that enough overview of the economy to know whether to temper with the rates by either increasing or decreasing the MPC rate, or at best, keeping it the way it is. But from the look of things, it's very possible that the central bank will marginally decrease the MPC rate in the next sitting, just a marginal decrease.
Dr. Benjamin Amoah, thank you very much for speaking to us here on Business Live. I'm glad you could make time to join us. Now, let's shift focus to some other stories we are following up for you. Government has started paying the debts-owed oil exploration firm Tullow for gas supplied over the past years. Now, some analysts have stated that it will turn around the dwindling fortunes of the company and aid power supply in the country. Apex is the chief executive officer of Tullow Group and has been speaking about this at a recent investor meeting in London.
We have strengthened a relationship with the government of Ghana, as evidenced through the gas payment security mechanism and the petroleum agreement extension secured in early 2026. This growing track record of a tangible delivery is strongly supported by a reset board to oversee strong governance and sound decision-making. We've delivered a huge amount already in a short period of time, and we fully intend to continue this momentum.
All right, so let's explore this development as well further. Joining us via Zoom is the Executive Director of the Center for Environmental Management and Sustainable Energy, Benjamin Isia. Benjamin, thank you very much for making time to join us here on Business Live, and good to see you. Now, how does paying Tullow affect ECG's cash waterfall and the broader energy sector largely? Does this free up gas supply or just clear old bills?
In both cases, it does. It frees up old bills or legacy arrears, and also recurrent arrears that are likely going to be incurred due to the flow of gas from Tullow to aggregators and to processors like Ghana National Gas Company Limited. So I think that to sustain the power sector in terms of gas supply, defraying some of these debts are very critical. And it is good, and we must commend government that they've taken this initiative to start paying some of these obligations, so that it will ensure that these IOCs continue to supply gas to generators, and then generators also going to continue to produce power for utility companies to serve consumers, and then both household consumers and then firm consumers.
And Benjamin, we know Tullow and its partners have delayed new drilling due to payment risks, right? Will this payment unlock fresh investment in Jubilee and 10 fields, you think?
It is likely because it's going to improve their cash flow, and improving their cash flow also means that they could be able to restructure some obligations or some financing agreement with their investors so that they'll be able to improve operations and then maybe access some new levels of assets to improve operations, thereby producing more to us. So I think that this is likely going to improve the activities in Ghana in terms of drilling more wells, producing more, especially when there's that commercial viability of these wells, so that the government of Ghana also benefits some form of revenue from these new levels of production that may occur due to these new levels of investment.
We know Tullow Gas feeds Akufo-Addo and Pious thermal plants. Does this payment reduce the risk of gas curtailment and doom in this year or 2026?
It does, and I think that on this subject matter, government of Ghana has indicated that there's some form of renegotiation between these gas suppliers, IPPs, within the next 4 years, and that is when government is likely going to fully commit to payment of these debt, because at each level, each year, there's some form of commitment. So I think that the sustainability of these the sector, especially the energy sector, in terms of getting reliable power depends on government commitment to these areas. And if government has started showing signs that is fully or partly committing to them, I think that these IOCs will continue to supply natural gas to aggregators and processors, and power producers may also get them to generate more power for EC. So I think that if you're able to continuously pay this debt, I think our power sector will not have or will not experience any doomsday in future, especially with respect to generational doomsday, as we may call it.
And Ben, how do you think settling Tullow debt prevent tariff hikes, or you think PURC adjustment is still needed to keep the sector solvent? PURC adjustments are mainly based on market-driven indicators and then macroeconomic indicators, regardless of whether we are able to pay Tullow or not. Because if you look at the market-driven indicators, we have the weighted average cost of gas as a factor, as well as the energy mix. So when we have dominant energy like the thermal power, it also means that the weighted average cost of power will be factored. The other indicators are the macroeconomic, which are inflation and then exchange rate. And this has been the practice, especially when it comes to quarterly adjustments of tariff. And I think PURC will continue to adjust tariffs quarterly based on these indicators. So whether we are able to pay Tullow, we are not able to pay them, I think PURC will continue to give us quarterly adjustment as well as multi-year based on CAPEX understandings of the industry. And I bet this is a great development for the industry upstream.
It is. The government of Ghana itself will have its sovereign creditability improved and protected because other investors will now begin to watch the space in terms of government of Ghana taking this particular initiative and also engaging their investors to invest more in our upstream. So it is good that government has started this. The second part also is that, as I indicated earlier, recent times our upstream has been experiencing some decline. So if the observation is that government is committed to paying its obligations, then it means that others will also begin to improve in terms of producing more, expanding drilling to access more of these output so that we can make more revenue. So I think that it is good and incumbent that government has taken this initiative and is likely going to better the fiscal position of government in the petroleum sector.
Benjamin Isiah, thank you very much for your input this very moment. Glad you could join us. Now let's take a breather. We'll be right back with more.
Hello, my name is Pamela from Customer Service. Please revalidate your account by texting your Ghana card number to 0500,000 247.
Hey, Abili, wabadim.
Madam, give me the numbers behind your ATM card. I'm calling from the head office.
An email was delivered across to our customers this morning.
Confirm if this is your bank account. 100,100,100.
Thanks for sending your bank card details.
Send the OTP now to avoid cancellation.
EcoBank will never call, email, send an SMS asking for your PIN, OTP, bank card, or Ghana card details.
Don't get played. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Hello, please, I'm calling from Customer Experience Center.
Transform your business ideas into success stories with Telecel Business. Choose from a wide range of products and services tailor-made to drive your business. Call 0302-233-4040 or email to business@telecel.com.gh to sign up today. Telecel Business, connecting opportunities, connecting goals, connecting businesses. Telecel, connecting energies.
Mothers give us everything: love, strength, and life itself. And it's time to give back. Joy FM
Present the Joy Mommy's Day Out.
Join us on Saturday,
May 9th.
for a day bursting with thrills. We'll have your day packed with irresistible activities like paddle boating on calm waters, an adrenaline rush with horseback riding, quad biking, exciting safari tour, friendly competitions such as dance contests, and wrap the prize, a chance to meet the mysterious Ujafokwa crocodile revered as the protector, and to top it all off, a delicious feast of local dishes and drinks accompanied by the sensational sounds of the Ajinkor band. Come, let's crown our mothers with joy and adventure at the Crown Forest. For inquiries, call Lois on 059-1709-309. The Joy FM Crown Forest experience is proudly brought to you by the Crown Forest, where nature meets luxury.
Hello, welcome back to Business Live. The Social Security and National Insurance Trust (SNIT) is intensifying calls for self-employed individuals and entrepreneurs to enroll onto its pension schemes. Now, according to the trust, the scheme is designed for all workers, including those outside the formal sector. More in this report.
As entrepreneurship continues to grow in Ghana, many individuals are building businesses and creating jobs for themselves and others. However, pension planning remains a challenge, with a significant number of self-employed individuals not contributing to the Social Security and National Insurance Trust. Speaking to Joy Business, Deputy Public Affairs Manager at SNIT, Jemima Ofori, revealed that the scheme is designed to cater to all workers in Ghana, not just those in the formal sector.
This SNIT scheme is there for every worker in Ghana. So our mandate is to provide social protection for every worker in Ghana. So when we say every worker in Ghana, then it includes the entrepreneurs as well. It includes the small-scale miner. It includes a gig worker and includes the dressmaker somewhere. Yeah, so it covers every individual.
She explained that contributing to the scheme comes with several benefits, including income security during retirement and protection against loss of earnings in later years.
The same benefits which will go for a formal sector employee is the same benefits that will be given to a self-employed. As long as you're an entrepreneur and you are contributing to the scheme, you are also eligible to receive what we call the old age retirement pension when you are old and weak. You are eligible to also receive what we call the invalidity pension. It's a disability package for people who are incapacitated or declared by medical doctors as unfit.
She also urged self-employed individuals and entrepreneurs to secure their financial future by prioritizing pension contributions.
Trying to build your business is important, yes, but securing your future is also important as well. So we understand that when you have the monies right now, it's very good. Building the business is good, but building your future when it comes to income security is equally essential. Most of these entrepreneurs are actually rich. You'll be surprised. They have money more than those in the formal sector. Yes, so what I'll say to this is take the future into your own hands and then work at it.
As Ghana's entrepreneur sector continues to expand, the call for self-employed individuals to prioritize pension contribution is becoming increasingly urgent. While building a business offers immediate financial rewards, experts say long-term security cannot be overlooked. For Joy Business, Sarah Etiemo reports.
And that's our package by way of Business Life. I am Pious Kojo Backah. For more stories, do log on to myjoyonline.com/business. Grateful serving you.
Right after school, you will have to go and sell plantain, cassava. Sometimes you fry pastries, what we call ariyesu or banfo bese. It was a very big dream of mine. I did try, but I was not selected. Maybe I wasn't tall enough. 2 years after the national service, and that is where I realized I wasn't a banker.
Okay, so what did you do?
Something. Cleaning.
So you left your job?
I left the job to go and start all over again. One thing about me is I never give excuses. If I put my mind to something, I just move because time waits for no one.